It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Diamond Lane from their Terrorizer release, and the name of that tune there is called Slow Destruction, and a band that you would think is on a slow destruction, or rather in the fast lane in destruction, is this band, Diamond Lane, and I want to welcome to the Classic Metal Show for the first time lead vocalist Brandon Bauman. That's how you say your last name, right, Brandon?
You got it. You hit it right on the head, Neely. Well done.
All right. Well, thank you, man. Well, listen, Brandon, I'm no stranger to the L.A. rock scene. I was back there in the heyday of hard rock, heavy metal from 85 until 91 myself, and you guys seem like a new wave of that style of music, only taken up a couple notches.
Well, I think we're trying to pay respects to the music that has inspired us so, as well as inject our own personalities and, modern take on a very classic, epic genre.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? I was introduced to this band through Benjamin, and, listening to you guys, I detect, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I detect a lot of almost a very early Skid Row-ish vibe to what you guys do.
Very interesting. That's what's always so fascinating to me, Neely, is different people's perceptions on what we sound like. One of the most difficult questions for me personally to answer is when someone says, describe your sound. What bands do you sound like? Because I feel like we kind of just draw from our own personal inspirations, which are all rooted in largely, the hard rock, heavy metal.
Sure.
So the fact that you draw a little Skid Row out of that, hey, I'll take it, man. Sebastian has a cannon of a voice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you sort of got a little bit of that Sebastian in your vocal style, and in the way that the rest of the band harmonizes with you on the choruses and whatnot. So it's kind of Youth Gone Wild times two.
Hey, I'll take it.
Excellent. Well, tell me a little bit about the band, Brendan. I mean, most people I have on the show these days, especially since we often promote, kind of up and comers. I've been doing this classic metal show for 20 years now, and I've seen a lot of bands come and go over the last 20 years. A lot of the stalwarts are still out there, and a lot of guys who want to rock, which I understand it completely. They get out there and they try their hand at it, but unfortunately, as I'm sure you're well aware, the environment or the business aspect of hard rock and heavy metal isn't what it used to be, and there's no $1 million contracts anymore. There's no MTV video support anymore. There's no arena tours anymore. So why do you guys do it?
We do it because we love it. I think it's something that has been ingrained in each of us since we were kids. So it truly feels like the right thing. And if you want to take a step back and look at the larger picture, somebody has to carry the torch, because all the bands that once ruled are still ruling to some degree, but they can't do it forever. All these legacy acts within the next decade or so, they're going to be either hanging it up or moving on. So, we take a great pride and responsibility to deliver something quality that can sustain and help carry the flag, help burn the torch for the next generations to come.
Well, I agree with that, Brendan, but I gotta ask you though, the era of arena bands, and I'm not talking hard rock bands here that are just out there still doing it, but the arena acts, i.e., the Iron Maidens, the AC/DCs, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, the ones that still can play an arena-style show. When those guys are gone, will there be any arena acts in that genre ever again?
Well, that's a challenge, because I agree with everything that you said, that there isn't the same support system that there once was. And frankly, music isn't appreciated, processed, or received the way it was back then, where people almost were fanatical, wanting to learn more about their band, wanting to get all the releases, read the interviews, read the articles, where today you can get all that within 5 minutes by typing in Google. So it's taken a lot of the mystique out of it, and I think that kind of plays into the short attention spans, the oversaturation, a lot of the issues that we face being in the modern musical world. So once bands hang it up, is there anyone going to be able to immediately step in and fill those arena shoes? I don't know. And it's scary to, have to answer it like that.
Yeah, I agree. Well, at least you have a good grasp on it, and you're not reaching for the pie in the sky. At least your reality about it. So, what's in it for you aside from the fact that you love it?
Well, I think that bringing people together, that's what's most rewarding for me personally. When you have a concert, getting people through the door to revel and share in the celebration of music, that is what's so powerful for me, because in life, we all have bullshit that we have to deal with, be it jobs, personal stuff, financial, family, you name it. So to bring people together for a little escapism where they can celebrate if they want to have a couple of cocktails or people watch or just play and enjoy the tunes, that for me, that's what it's all about. We're not living in the age where, like you said, those $1 million contracts and huge monetization. So you need to find the rewards in other angles other than specifically financially.
Sure, I agree with that. So, tell me about Diamond Lane. Where did the name come from? I can only assume that being that you're California guys, that maybe it has to do with the multi-passenger left lane on the 405 freeway. Is that correct, or did it come from somewhere else?
In essence, that is kind of the bulk of it. In our inception, when Jarrett and I were trying to figure out what the hell do we want to call ourselves. I mean, we're just teenagers, so we kick around a ton of ideas, throw it against the wall, and see what sticks. But we kept coming back to Diamond Lane. And something about the idea of, doing our own thing, being in our own lane, no stoplights, no stop signs, no speed limit, just hitting the gas and going. It was very appealing to us then, and it still rings true to this day.
Until that mother in a minivan with her 5 kids are in that Diamond Lane going 50.
Hey, well, you know what? As long as they're cranking our tunes, they can drive however fast they want.
Very nice. Well, tell me a little bit about your bandmates. You got 4 bandmates. Tell me how you guys met, where you come from, and how you came together to form Diamond Lane.
I tell you, what a cast of characters we've got, Neely. So, as I mentioned, Jarrett Reese, one of the guitar players, him and I started this thing when we were just kids. We were teenagers living up in San Jose, in the San Francisco Bay Area. Kind of just bonded over a love of hard rock, heavy metal, and really iconicized, a lot of those bands that, we had just previously talked about. We wanted to entertain. We wanted to be on stage, write songs, tour, the whole shebang. That was always the stars in our eyes from the very beginning. And, the deeper we got, the more business savvy we started to, want to become and really just raise the bar for ourselves. So we spent the better part of the 2000s just cutting our teeth, doing demos, recording, playing shows, until we realized that we were missing a key set of ingredients that we really needed to obtain to go to that next level. So that brought us to Los Angeles in 2009. That's where we met Ray Zhang on bass. He was one of the first guys that we met when we moved down here, and he's been, in the thick of the fold since. That being said, bring in Frankie Lindia, Jarrett's counterpart on guitar. I mean, those two guys are like electric dynamite. They have some of the most tasty and cohesive riffs. When they write, they're bouncing off each other. It really is just electric, and it's a blessing to have two of those guys in the band, because I dare put them against most any other guitar players pound for pound. These guys have some serious skills. And then fast forward to a year or two later, and we got Dave Van Diggity on the drums in the fold. Now I can say with supreme confidence that since the fall of 2012, our lineup is solidified. It has been complete. Because I think any band knows that keeping the family together, keeping the business going, keeping everybody on the same page, that's the biggest challenge, finding the right ingredients. Because it's like a marriage. It's like a relationship. If you want it to sustain and last, everybody's got to be on the same page, have the same mindset, willing to do the work and put in the time. And now that we have these guys and these components, we're absolutely unstoppable, and the future is just looking so bright and promising.
Sure. Except for being in L.A., because I guess things, especially in Hollywood, are changing, with the key clubs shutting down and them knocking down the House of Blues and putting up condos down there on the Strip. And, of course, the whiskey is still there and the Roxy is still there. But, it's tough to find a gig in L.A. I guess the big place to play as the new L.A. Entertainment scene is in Las Vegas. Would you agree with that?
Well, I will say firsthand that since we moved down here in 2009 and even visiting years prior and then seeing how it has transformed in 2015, it really is kind of staggering. To see some of these iconic venues close their doors and change their practices, it's very interesting because there's a lot of quality talent, but finding the locations that will host and provide a conducive environment not only for the bands but for the fans to provide an enjoyable experience, it seems to be slimmer and slimmer. Now, there still are the staples. Let's not get it twisted here. The Viper Room is always a huge champion for the quality talent in the city. Troubadour is another great example of that as well. But touching on what you said, Las Vegas, that is definitely an emerging market. We played out there about a half dozen times. We actually have a show coming up there tomorrow, which will be passed after this airs. But regardless, going to Las Vegas, I get a sense of what Los Angeles used to be. It seems like there's a lot less politics. The clubs are on point. They're treating bands with respect and really kind of, giving them what they deserve in terms of what they deliver. So to see the transformation out in Los Angeles and to find new opportunities outside of the city, I think that's kind of an emerging trend, and it's a necessary evil. You need to find the goodness in your hometown, and you need to find markets outside of there where you can grow, expand, explore, and keep moving on.
Right, absolutely. And some of the L.A. stalwarts, live out there now. Tracy Guns is out there, Paul Shortino, Ron Keel, my good friend Nader DePriest from the band London. A lot of the LA veterans have been kind of migrating to the Las Vegas area because they're finding work out there and opportunities to perform and whatnot. So that kind of seems like the hot spot.
Yeah, well, not only that, the cost of living is significantly cheaper out that way as well. So I think it's two sides to the coin, and you just kind of got to get in where you fit in.
Sure, absolutely. Now, I see you guys got lucky enough to land yourself a spot on this year's Rocklahoma bill. How did that come about?
You know what? Very exciting stuff. I got an email last fall, must have been September, October, from Sam McCaslin with Retrospect Records. He said, hey, would you guys be interested in playing Rocklahoma? I'm thinking, well, fuck yeah, we're interested. What a great opportunity. And come full circle at the beginning of this year, and it was all on the up and up. He's a great guy. He's a man of his word, and, things are really piecing together. So, the fact that Diamond Lane has an opportunity to step on the big stage and really showcase ourselves in front of thousands of people who might not even know we exist, it's a true opportunity that we take with reverence, and we're ready to go out there and just lay it down.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I got to give you guys props on your I guess your image. You guys look like dirty white long-haired rocker guys, as opposed to what's been trendy over the last almost 20 years now, the shaved heads and the sad looks and the, kind of like the down and outer and stare at your shoes guys and all serious and, just looking all bummed out and everything. You guys got that kind of that early wild Metallica look about you.
Well, and you know what? That's a huge thing for us because we're kind of just being ourselves. You know, the shoegazer style of rock and being all pissed off, you know, that's not for us. Sure, of course we get pissed off. Everybody gets pissed off. But that's not the flag we're going to fly. People want to go out to a show to have a good time, not to see a bunch of angry fuckers. So, you know, I think that kind of translates into our look as well, just being ourselves and letting it roll.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys are definitely got that throwback retro look and a little bit of the sound. And why don't you tell me a little bit about this Terrorizer release? Anything about this new record or your current record? I know you're working on a new one, but anything about this release that you want to point out to the fans that maybe they wouldn't get right off, or something that you're particularly proud of?
Well, you know, I'm really proud of Terrorizer and the fact that, you know, it was a lot of firsts for us. You know, this was the first time that we had a really solvent lineup where everybody was committed, nobody was going anywhere. This is, you know, set it in granite. These are the guys. So the fact that we were able to create the record without any trepidation of, well, you know, who's going to end up playing this guitar solo, or, you know, oh, we got to find a bass player. None of that shit. Being able to push that all out of our mind and really just focus on creating the best music that we could, creating it together, live in the room, fleshing ideas off each other instead of just building it piece by piece. It was very liberating. So, you know, the reception from this record and, you know, the great traction that it's gotten, I think it's a testament to how we created it in the mindset that we were in. We really didn't want to set a goal that we wanted the record to sound like X, Y, and Z. Rather, we just did what felt good. And, you know, the product is the product. So we're very proud to stand behind that, and we look forward as we continue to dig into the writing process and pre-production of Terrorizer's follow-up, you know, just with the same mindset of challenging ourselves to be the best that we absolutely can be, but really tapping into something real and honest. Instead of contrived shooting it to sound like this or that, we just want to sound like ourselves. And if we tap into what we feel as individuals is true, then it's going to come across as such.
Sure, absolutely. Got to ask you about this last track on Terrorizer, Drift. Is that a tip of the hat to Led Zeppelin at all, the Rain song?
You know what? You have a very, very good ear. You know, I wouldn't say that the song was created, you know, with that in mind, but, you know, as it's tracked, as we're, you know, really adding and making that song special, a lot of those Zeppelin-ish elements kind of lent itself, you know, with an open door of encouragement, you know, that this could really work here and there. So, sure, I will say that there was a little tip of the cap homage to, you know, the glorious Zep.
Absolutely. Well, any good rock band tips the cap to Led Zeppelin in one way, shape, or form or another, right?
Well, you got to. I mean, those guys were, you know, the cornerstone of everything to come after it, you know, and always a counterpoint. And you have to appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, aside from, you know, Rocklahoma here coming up in May, what is on the agenda for Diamond Lane in 2015?
2015, we are trying to spread ourselves as far and wide as possible. You know, with that month of May, we're going to do a whole month of shows out and back from Rocklahoma, just really hitting new markets and territories that we haven't had the opportunity to yet experience. You know, as well as stay regular in the Los Angeles markets. We got a great big show at the Troubadour, as we previously just discussed, on March 21st, which is our first LA show of the year. So that's always a great time there. But that, getting back into the studio come March, you know, like I said, we're doing pre-production and writing right now. I think we're in the thick of 20 demos that we're combing through, and you know, new ideas are popping up constantly. So to spread the word behind Terrorizer and look forward to what lies ahead with the new album, continue to tour, look for new avenues to, you know, give us a stage and a voice to expose this to new audiences.
Sure, absolutely. Well, excellent, Brandon. Sounds like you guys got, at least you got your head screwed on straight and kind of understand what's really going on out there in the business and the marketplace. And you're willing to give it your all, regardless of the environment for this style of music. And, like you tip your hat to Zeppelin, I tip my hat to you. So good luck with 2015 and Diamond Lane.
Neely, I really appreciate it. It's just exciting to dive in head first, full on with something you're so passionate about, and to be surrounded by a great team who all believes in the same things. I know that we can spread this all over the world. Sure,
absolutely. All right, Brandon, well, is there anything else you want the fans to know about the band or yourself or the release or anything else?
Well, you know what? I just wanted to say thanks to you for giving Diamond Lane a voice to get exposed to new audiences. And, for anybody who's digging what they're hearing here, I hope you check out some tracks. Hit up DiamondLaneRocks.com. Get connected with us socially. We're just one big family. We are fans at the end of the day. So that's what's really special to us, is to please them.
Sure, absolutely. And fans can go over to their Facebook account as well, facebook.com/Diamond Lane, and drop them a note and let them know you heard them here on the Classic Metal Show. All right, Brandon. Well, if that's all you got to tell the fans, I'm going to ask you the traditional Classic Metal Show question. And being that you live out there in the LA area, I'm sure that you've had maybe some personal experience with this. How has Lemmy from Motorhead influenced your career?
Are you talking about the double Jack and Cokes at the Rainbow, or he's a fixture out there, and you never know where you're going to see him pop up in this part of town. I've had the opportunity to meet him a time or two, and he is an absolute gentleman. So the fact that he can live the life that he has, put out the music that he has, and he's still standing here to tell the tale, damn it, Lemmy's doing something right.
Absolutely. All right, kids, go out there and pick up the Diamond Lane Terrorizer release and go see them if they come to a town near you. So, Brandon, as a tradition, I'm going to let you pick a closing song from your release and maybe tell us a quick story about it.
Let's see. Well, hey, let's just go ahead and send things off flying with Kiss the Ring. That's an exciting one for us. It's a great sing-along song live, and we have a hell of a time playing it. So I hope you can all crank up your stereos right now and get into a little bit of the Diamond Lane.
All right. Well, here it is. Diamond Lane from their Terrorizer release. This is Kiss the Ring exclusively here on your Classic Metal Show.